about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Around Bay YouTube, it is your boy Charles, and today we're going to talk about the new G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue. First, I want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers. I am knocking on the door of 250, which is not a lot, I know, but it is 250 more than I expected to get, so thank you for riding along with the comic and action figure content, and hopefully I will continue to improve these videos and have some consistency going. So anyway, I really want to talk about this G.I. Joe Real American Hero. We're at number 316. This is the continuing series from the 1980s. And one thing I will say about this series is I know that comic books have changed. I'm relatively new. I started collecting in 2019. But one thing I noticed when I started collecting is that back issues, they seem to have bigger books, lower prices, and a lot more complex layered stories in each one. But, you know, as time went on, they became a little bit more expensive, and you really had to follow the series to understand what was going on. And with G.I. Joe, you really do get your money's worth for the $3.99 cover price. This is Image Comics, of course. It's been through a lot of hands over these last few decades. But one thing I will say is that the Real American Hero series has layers upon layers upon layers. I started reading at about 300, and that was the big battle in Springfield and the Springfield Cobra base that went, I think, like 13, 14 episodes in one battle, and they had a team on Cobra Island trying to infiltrate that. You had Destro doing his own things. The Dreadnoughts were involved. We had maybe 4 or 5 complete different arcs going at once with a lot of subplots and individual stories that they all seem to wrap up perfectly. I don't know how G.I. Joe does it, but it's amazing, and this is a great time to get in because the last issue was the beginning of this new arc post the battle for Springfield, and this is kind of getting back on their feet. And you'll notice this cover, which after I read the book, I thought was brilliant. And I will be giving some slight spoilers, but not a lot of detail. I don't believe in ruining the book. I want to give you enough to let you know something you might want to read, but not spoil it. But what we see here with Snake Eyes kind of slipping off the Cobra uniform is actually a big portion of this book, because we find out that Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Jinx, and another Joe are going to be going undercover in this new rebuilding of Springfield as Cobra agents. These Cobra agents in particular, they start off the issue, Spirit Iron Knife sees them coming toward the base in Utah, and it's his family that are turning themselves in. And they're willing to be, debriefed. They want to be in witness relocation, and they want to cooperate with the Joes. And what the Joes are going to do is they're going to have Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Jinx, wear prosthetics and makeup to appear as his family and go back into the Springfield camp. And so that's one subplot we have going. And then we have another subplot with what is his name? The doctor that was working on the Dr. Mindbender. He was formerly of Cobra. He's at the Louisiana base for Cobra, trying to get back in with them, and there's some distrust going on there as well. So that's 2 big plot lines, storylines, and we have all of the casino guests that were experimented on with, by Cobra, to getting debriefed and some kind of chip implanted into them. They'll really be sleepers. And then we have the storyline of Destro and his uneasy relationship with Cobra Commander after he almost killed Scarlet. And Scarlet recovering from that and not really doing too well. I'm not going to go into too much more of that, but that's another storyline on top of all of this. And then we find out that the family were not just Cobra stormtroopers, but they were radicalized. And so it casts some doubt into what they are doing. And there's another Joe team that's going to be heading to Cobra Island. And like I said, I'm not going to, I don't want to ruin the book for you, but with all that I said, there is still so much more that I didn't even touch on in this book at the $3.99 price point. This is storytelling at its best right now in comic books, I feel. Two of my favorite books are from Image right now. I guess you could say two of my favorite universes because Spawn Universe is my favorite right now. They have multiple books and they seem to be adding new series. The most recent being the Medieval Spawn series, which I really enjoyed. Number one, there's review on this channel, but what Image is doing with G.I. Joe Real American Hero is fantastic. The team on there does not slack. That is Hammer, Peltier, Cordos, and Segala are the team on this book. And if you're reading the other G.I. Joe book, that's part of the Energon universe, which is combined with Transformers and Void Rivals. And so Image is knocking it out of the park, in my opinion. And if you're in a comic book store and you're wanting to take a chance on something you may not have read, I'd say it's a safe bet to look for that Image Comics label and grab that one. So that's been my thoughts on G.I. Joe Real American Hero, number 316. Still a great time to get into the story because they're just now laying the groundwork for what is going to be this next arc. And they have a good track record of slow burn storytelling that really pays off. So look for it at your local comic book store. And if you do not have a local comic book store and you're in the Wyoming area, check out Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment, located in the Eastridge Mall and online at spellboundcasper.com. And if you're in Wyoming, they ship for free on orders of over $35. And if you're not in Wyoming, but you still want to get affordable shipping and a great price and selection, check out my friends at Coffee and a Comic out of Huntington Beach. It's at coffeeandacomic.com. They have great deals on their shipping, including a shipping subscription service and great customer service that makes you feel like you're at a local comic book store, even though they're not in your locality. So check them out, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I will.